Hello, scrappers! Tonight we're going to be scrapping this. This is a Sharp Carousel microwave. This has been in the other garage forever. I've moved it 100 times. Time to get scrapped. Sounds like there's something in it. Let's see how much it weighs first. It's not that heavy. So this might have a lot of aluminum in the transformer. Yeah, it's only 25 pounds. Let's see what's in this. Now, I gotta warn you, usually when people give you microwaves to scrap, they're usually pretty gross inside. Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, look at the top. The top's dented. The top is dented. They blew something up in it. Oh my God, is that supposed to be like that? Dented right up there. Yeah. Get the glass out of there. And now all the weight is going to be on the side with the control panels on it. It's going to be the heavier side. That's going to be the side with the transformer. Now I like to start with the screws, and you only really need to get the ones out of this side. So we're going to get the turntable motor out. Got some tin. The motor for the turntable, there's always a lot of copper in this. I'll show you how to get that out later. Screws, and now there's this side. We're going to be taking this side apart. We don't need to take the whole thing apart, we just need to get to the good stuff. So only take apart enough of it as you need to keep tight ground screw. Now I've scrapped a lot of microwaves, and I noticed they're all kind of like snowflakes. I've never seen that before. They're all kind of different. Ooh, brass! So we'll be getting that little chunk of brass out of there. And a cut next to it. Pry her out. So we get a little bit of brass. Are these brass? Those are brass, and so aren't the plug ends. So these will just be pulling out. And these, it's always easier to cut the wire first. We got some number 2 insulated. And these plug-ins come right out. You're going to want gloves for these. I can't tell you how many times I have stabbed myself in the hand. Ooh, just like that. You definitely want gloves. So now we got some plastic. And some more brass. Where'd the other one go? I already took it out. We got some brass and some number 2 copper. And now we'll continue here. And there's usually 1 or 2 of these screws that are tamper resistant. But that one's holding in the capacitor. There's a tamper resistant one. We don't need to take them all out. We just need to take out enough to get to the good stuff. What size is this tamper resistant screw? The size... Nope. It's usually a Torx with the hole in the center. It's a common one. There's usually only one of them. Or 2. Best scrapping tool ever. A 6-in-1 screwdriver. You throw the handle in the garbage, because that's the good part. Now we'll pry this side up. And there's all the good stuff. That bulb was going to the light bulb. We don't need the light. There's the light bulb. Here's the magnetron. There's some good magnets in there. Not really a lot of copper. There's mainly aluminum and magnets. Get some of these wires out of the way. We got some copper bearing. And these ends here are always brass. We'll check them now. That's brass. Some more number 2 insulated. Now we got to get this magnetron out. If you got a working microwave, sometimes these sell on eBay. But I'm not going to risk buying a used part on eBay. And plus, you know, microwaves are a dime a dozen now. For what it costs you for a new magnetron, you can probably get yourself a brand new, nice, clean microwave. Pretty cheap. Usually pry this fan off. Get you a better view here. We only really want the good stuff. I always try to do this taking out as little screws as possible. There we go. A little easier. Got some tin for the tin bucket. Easy to get the copper out of that. There's the transformer. To persuade this out of the way a little bit. This is wiggle out. Oh, this one's heavy. Microwave doesn't look that old, so I was figuring this might be mostly copper. That's actually pretty heavy. I mean, mostly aluminum. I like to take a nip into it. Oh, see, that's aluminum. Is this one aluminum too? I think this phase is copper. Yes, the top phase is copper. The lower phase is going to be aluminum. And this is going to be easy to get the copper out of. I'll show you that. There's brass inside of these switches. Are we done with the good stuff? There's always a little piece of circuit board in these too. Gotta control the electronics somehow. There's a relay. I'll show you how to get the copper out of the relay. And there usually isn't much copper behind here. Sometimes they hide a circuit board in here though. Not really. We'll keep all this together for the extra weight. Something else I like to do with microwaves. So you put all your tin inside of it. If it'll open now. Not gonna open. We'll get a weight on this later. Some garbage. Now for the good stuff. We have a relay. She's just going to come off the board for me. Pain in the butt to get the copper out of this, and there really isn't too much. Actually, this one looks like it might be high yield. But it's got the metal around it. The ones that got the ferrite around them, if we can get the copper out of this. I'll try to do this quickly so the video doesn't end up being too long. I do want to 100% scrap this microwave. That's what you guys come here for. That's what you like. Some copper bearing circuit board. Should have kind of give it a little helping hand. I love scrapping transformers. Little ones, big ones. How am I going to get that out now? Like that. More copper bearing. There we go. And then you hammer underneath. It's probably way too big of a screwdriver for this. You hammer underneath and then pry up. There we go. Number 2 copper. And some more tin for the tin bucket. Let's get rid of this wire. I like to try to get most of these little brass ends out, because they're worth more off the wire than they are on the wire. You could leave them on and call it all number 2 insulated, just throw it all in your number 2 insulated bucket. And somebody eventually will pick it off as they're sorting through it. Right now, a lot of our scrap in America gets sold to China. Be nice if we kept it here in America and sorted it out and melted it down and reused it over here. Easy getting the copper out of this. Do you see here? This will drift out. You can usually just open it up. A little bit of space there. Really doesn't take much. Ouch! Look at that. Drifted right out. And this piece here just slides out. This. Sometimes you can cut it easily. There we go, it just peels off. Or sometimes you hit it with a hammer and break it. And look how easy that was. Another nice little score, number 2 copper. And these are going to be brass. Should be wearing gloves. I never learned my lesson. Copper bearing, and now, now for this guy. These are brass. Actually, that looks like copper, but I'm gonna throw them in the brass bucket. And these can usually grab the little wings. And then they usually just wiggle apart. Usually pry this little cap off here, the little back plate. Got some tin for the tin bucket. So usually wiggle out. You want to try not to bend the housing to this too much, because once you bend it, makes it real difficult to slide this out. Because there is a nice little score of copper in these. The center pin brass. Some more brass. And this, I like to just cut it. Or number 2 insulated. Not insulated, number 2 copper. Now, for the transformer, like I said, nip some more brass. Number 2 insulated, more brass. Nip into this. See, that's aluminum. And this one here, that's copper. If they're both aluminum, just throw this in your copper bearing bucket. You know, don't waste your time getting the aluminum, because its weight, this thing's pretty heavy. That's 2 1/4 pounds. And now it says almost 10 pounds. So, you know, that's considerably heavy. The best way to get into this, I don't know if I should be doing it here on my block. Yeah. This is a chisel. It's a hatchet head, but I use it as a chisel. I got a big hammer. Yes, I do. All these painted tools that you see here, they're all chunks of scrap metal that I found at the scrap yard. And this is just pretty much a chisel with a handle on it. I'm going to use the vise to hold this for me. Put it all the way down in the jaws. And just crack the weld. You can do it on both sides, but usually one side is good enough. Look at that, see? It's almost like I know what almost like I've done this before. It's like I haven't cut all the way through. I'm gonna wreck my workbench. And now, open the vise to this width and use the vise as a spacer. We can tap this through. So this top coil should be pretty light. Oh, this sledgehammer's heavy. Yeah, it's light. Definitely aluminum. And this all picks apart easily. That's light. Take a nip into it and see. Well, that's copper. No more number 2 insulated. This better be copper for all the work I'm going through with it. There we go. I spent a lot of time taking one apart once, and it ended up being all aluminum. This better not be aluminum. Come on, you never know until you get all the weight off of it. Oh, that's copper. Much better. And clean this up a little bit. Nothing fancy. And this can go in your number 2 copper bucket just like that. Now for the magnetron. There is a little copper coil in here, but there's not a lot. I like to break this little guy off. Oh, those are brass. Sometimes you can get this whole plug-in to come out, and there's a little pigtail of copper in there. Not looking like this time though. So this end cap will come off. I'm just mangling this. Now that I told you there's a little pigtail of copper in there, I gotta show you. Maybe I can get it started. Maybe I can bleed everywhere. Oh, you see it in there? Little pigtail of copper. On some magnetrons, you can pull it all out through this way. Like I said, this will break and you can pull the whole thing right out. Boing! Get the ferrite out of there. More number 2 copper. And now this is all just... Well, here's brass. Forgot to mention the brass. This is a little ferrite, ferrite field to stop the radio waves. These are 2 very nice, powerful magnets. They're kind of a pain in the butt to get out. You can usually clamp down into here. These magnets are always good for scrapping. There we go. Ow! There we go. And they just slide off. Nice little magnets too. So I'll be saving these. These always come in handy. Another nice little magnet. Oh! So we got some tin. Now this pink stuff here, it's usually pink. You don't want to grind into that. That's beryllium. I believe it's a cancer-causing yucky agent. Yucky, yucky. And this stuff's always aluminum. The scale says 10 1/4 pounds. So let's we'll tear it all off. We'll get the aluminum out of here. A little over 1/4 pound of aluminum. We'll get the number 2 insulated out of here. A little over 1/4 pound of number 2 insulated. Forgot this piece. And the copper bearing. Three-quarters pound of copper bearing. Now for the good stuff. We'll do the 10 afterwards. Here we go. Here's the brass. .08. How many ounces is that? Cut an ounce of brass. Woohoo! All adds up. There's some on the floor too. It all adds up. People think I'm crazy. All these little bits add up. Tear it down again. Let's see how much number 2 copper we have. 14 ounces. Almost a pound. Not too bad. And we'll see how much 10 there is. I'm doing it wrong. Put all the 10 here. And I'll just go dump this out in my trailer. Almost 19 1/4 pounds of 10. So not too bad. A few minutes worth of work, made a few extra bucks. So just remember guys, scrap is everywhere. All you gotta do is find it, sort it, and hoard it. So thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.